One Funnel Away Challenge is day. What day is today? I think it's 16 or 17. Anyway, look in the description. I'll check now. Anyway, today the One Funnel Away Challenge is all about the origin story. It's like where you tell your story about how you got started and whatever field it is. And just before we go into the origin story, if you look at a lot of these internet marketers, you would see when they tell their story, their real story, and a lot of times it just doesn't make any sense, or it just sounds fake. And it's because it is fake, because they all were like at one stage like at the brink of financial ruin, and then hallelujah, they found this magical mystery process, and now they're driving around in Ferraris. I was listening to a guy the other day that said, I literally had $1.19 left. I couldn't even buy bread for my family. And then I would rather not say the company. So I'm thinking, how did you promote it? How did you go from that day in the supermarket to when at least 30 days later when you actually started making money, supposedly? So stretch that $1.19 a long way. Maybe you should write a book about budgeting rather than internet marketing. Anyway, so that's not the way to do it. I mean, talk the truth. Speak. Oh my God, learn to speak English first. Speak the truth, and then it'll work fine. If you're going to talk a lot of nonsense, people's gonna quickly catch up to you that you're just doing it to get a sale or whatever. So anyway, I figured like today's homework is to tell your own origin story. So I thought what better place to do than to do it right here. So how I got into this internet marketing thing is I used to have a shop in South Africa in a town called Clarence. It's like a tiny little tourist town in the mountains. It's gorgeous there. And I had a retail shop up there selling stuff to the tourists, and everything was great. On the contrary, it was very far from rock bottom. Everything was great. I lived in a town about 30 kilometers away, so I would drive there every other day to go see if everything's fine. And it'd just be like 7-8 o'clock in the morning, like sunrise. I'd drive there and I'd be like, oh my God, this is the luckiest person in the world to have this job, seeing that I love retail and I love buying and selling stuff. Anyway, but then the whole retail collapse thing started happening. Amazon, thank you Amazon. Amazon came along, and the business started going backwards and backwards and backwards. My wife was doing the books at the time, so she tried to like keep it away, not to hide anything, but to not upset me. She tried to make it look better than it really was, and she would get money from her dad to pay bills that the business couldn't pay. And so I thought everything was okay. I knew it wasn't fantastic, but I didn't know how bad it actually was until we got to a point where we're like, okay, now we're a bit in trouble, and we had to do something about this to get out of this. So that's when I turned to the internet, and I'm like, I've heard people make money on this internet thing. let's take a look. So I was looking around. I was looking around, trying to figure out how to make more money using the internet. And because I suppose we could have just gone on the way we were, and I guess we could have survived and we got a few lucky breaks. But yeah, the whole thing is, I mean, you it's not just about survival. I've got like two little girls, and you you wanna give them the best things there are. I mean, you don't constantly want to say no, we cannot do this because there's no money, or no, we cannot go there, or no. It's like just it just kind of breaks your heart every time you have to say no to something that's not like something ridiculous, something just something small, like can I have this dress or this whatever, these shoes, and you have to say like no, you've got a lot of shoes, you don't need more shoes, you kind of have to make up things, and yeah, it just makes you feel terrible inside, and that's the whole reason I wanted to work from the beginning. I wanted to work for myself, because when I grew up, I saw that that was the same when I grew up, and it's well, long story short, my dad died when I was about 14, and then my mom raised my brother and I, and it was the same thing. We were never poor, but a lot of times I would ask for something like a new tennis racket or new tennis shoes or something like that, and my mom had to say no, and I could see every time, I could see, not that I felt bad for myself, but it always like kind of broke my heart to see how bad she felt that she had to say no, but just because she didn't have the money. So that's when ever since then, I was always like, I need to work for myself so I can control how much money I make, and I need to make enough money so that I don't have to say no for those things. So yeah, getting back to the story. So then I was exactly like exactly where I didn't want to be, and a little bit worse. So yeah, I started working on the internet. I was going along. Eventually I found ClickBank, I found Pinterest, I started to find a few other software programs that can automate things. I was like adding the different blocks together, piecing it together, working through it, just slowly but consistently. And then eventually I would look in ClickBank and I'd be like, there's a sale, and then a few days later another sale, and then another sale, and I started figuring out, I'm like, it's these pins. The more pins I make, the more money I make, because I've been doing it for 6 months without making anything, but they started building up and up and up and up and up and up. So then I went into overdrive and I just started making pins galore, and there was like a thing like Board Booster. It's software that would automatically pin the pins for you to board, so you could line up like 100 of them, and it would just on different times of the day pin it for you, so it would spread it out nicely. Worked like a charm. At the end, at its height, I was making not a humongous amount of money. I was averaging like 2,000 US a month, but that was like completely passive. Everything was automated. So $2,000 a month. At that time, we're living in South Africa. You convert that to South African rand, that is like a good salary. It's like having an extra person working for you, just handing their salary over to you every month. So that was just amazing. And went on and on and on. And then, of course, Pinterest decides to close Board Booster. So there goes my automation. And not long after that, Pinterest decides to do their own advertising. So now, like with all the other things, as soon as the paid advertising comes in, organic traffic goes way down. They want you to pay to get views and clicks, so they make it way harder for you to get organic traffic. So my whole little Pinterest $2,000 a month thing went down the tubes, and it went from $2,000 a month to maybe $100 a month. It just completely bombed, and I was basically back to where I started. And then in the meantime, we luckily we found someone that can buy the shop. So we sold the shop, and we packed up everyone. I was from Canada. We moved to Canada. Once again, this was for the kids because my oldest daughter was going to school, and we just thought that she could get a better education in Canada than she would in South Africa. So we packed up everything, arrived here. We live in Montreal. It's French. I don't speak French, so the chances of getting a job is absolutely zero. And then it is back to square one. I'm like, again, this internet thing has to work. I know it works. I've seen it work. It's kind of when you look at something and you think like, I know this works, but it's just like you're missing like one little ingredient thingy somewhere. You're just missing something. So anyway, I was doing that, and then I came upon Clickfunnels, and this is what landed me in this one funnel away challenge. I found Clickfunnels, and I found another program called Partner with Anthony. Anthony is a internet marketer guy, one of the few internet marketers that are not, I don't know how to put it nicely, snake oil salesman. He's a solid guy. His program is really good. So I started following that, because with that thing you can use like his videos, his funnels, his everything, so you kind of partner with him, which is great. So you put traffic into the system, and then you leave that over to the expert to convert that traffic into sales, and then you split the traffic. Basically, that's how it works in a nutshell. But anyway, I found Partner of Anthony. I found Clickfunnels. Slowly but surely started building up. So so now I'm here today. Here, still not where I want to be with affiliate marketing, not anywhere close. It's like drips and drabs, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. But I really think like through this whole process of about, where are we now, about 3 years that this whole internet marketing thing has been going on, I feel that I've learned enough to make it work, and that I'm at the right places now, and the right programs to make this work. And I just need to get like the traffic there, and then everything should start clicking over nicely again, and you can start automating things. So yeah, that's the story. I'll keep you up to date how it's going, even once this one funnel away challenge is finished. I plan to make more videos of this, like documenting how it's going. So hopefully, not too long from today, I can make a video saying, "Hey, I'm back on 2,000 a month," or be really cool if I can say like 10,000 a month. Amazing. That would be cool. And yeah, that's it. That's the story. And not a if you were waiting for saying today I'm making $1 million a month passive income. No, unfortunately it's not that easy, and anyone that tells you that they've gone from zero to that much that quick are talking nonsense. So just be careful to who you listen to online, especially. It's sharks galore. Anyway, that's it. That was a long video, but yeah, that's my story. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow then, in whatever day it is. It's because day 17 tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, cheers, bye.